Hello, welcome back to Actual Play Apocalypse Keys. We're just here, at the edge of the apocalypse, honestly, as Celine,
NBD.
as Celine is just sort of blowing up the world. But luckily, Civ has united all the Halimo to make the Care Bear wall. That was amazing.
So good, so good.
I do
Yeah,
Care Bear Wall. It's like my new favorite thing.
It's
I
amazing.
I
know.
was just trying to think like, oh, I don't know why Carol Wall came to brain, but like I don't know, just them holding hands and them just like doing a protective like
Hmm.
Care
I'm
stare.
so
I don't
glad
know
it
why.
did. Yeah, no, it's
Yes.
perfect.
So good, so good. Yeah, and I want to stress that because you hit be the monster like um the exact right number, the Halima won't have to sacrifice themselves uh for this. So, yay. But yeah. So yeah, the we see the energy blowing off of them. They're able to hold things together, but most of the island is starting to like fall into the ocean or erupt upwards like this island is not going to make it no matter what happens. But and meanwhile, Civ, you can sense because you're still on the ground even though there are three psychic projections of you piloting the Halima. You can sense that there's a telltale sensation of a portal opening up to Division, and you can see several portals are opening up, and you can hear Agnes on the other side shouting commands as Fletcher Payne and the rest evacuate off the island as quickly as possible.
Yeah, perfect.
Flowing into,
I'm
yeah, I
I'm
would,
gonna let them do that. I'm a little busy. I think like there's probably like debris has hit me and I haven't even reacted.
I like the idea that the debris is about to hit you, and then but your psychic ability is so strong, it just cuts in half and like goes
Or
around you.
yeah. I could see the Halimo protecting you as well, right? Right, like that's their job.
Oh,
Oh, that's so good.
definitely, definitely. I like that so much. I'm so happy for our struggle bus Apostle Solar. But yeah, and we definitely see the three pilots um, being taken to division. You can see Asteria Romano is trying to get up, like he's a little worried, but they pull him through. And then I think this is a good time to cut back to um, I'm like, do we get to cut to Ember in the fight, or do we
I think
say
we should do Ember in the fight to like
yeah,
finish that off so that we can all
Yeah.
get to the surface. Because Ember's
yeah,
kind of the
yeah,
last holdout right now to get to the conclusion. If that's okay
yeah?
with you,
You
Maria.
know, I think the blast is like should be like one of the final things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah. Okay. So then we cut to, and then at that moment, we rewind back in time where the tank, the mostly empty one shattered,
Hmm.
and then we can see like it cuts through like these huge glass shards, just like cut through all the steel
Nice.
of the facility, and it cuts like nearby where Ember and her brother are like in between the two of them. This huge glass shard
Nice.
like creates this barrier between the two of them, and you can see both of your reflections against each other as you
That's
route each
so
other's
cool.
swords out.
That's so cool. Yes. Well, Ember sort of like they're sort of like dancing around each other. They each have a sword out. And then Ember just sort of like raises it up. And it's I think whoever's like the first one to shatter this glass is the first one to like start the fight, but also they sort of expose themselves because the blow of shattering the glass means that like that the other person has the opportunity to sort of take advantage of it. But that's the beginning. That's how this fight has to start. And so I think they're sort of dancing around each other and whatnot. And as Ember shatters it, I just imagine like this like army of blades appearing in the air beside both of them, like clashing into each other. And yeah, I would like to do a couple of things because I have a bunch of moves that I'll sort of surround around getting into giant, big, smashy fights. So one of them is that I'm going to ask someone to give me their best shot and not hold back. So I will basically be like, come at if you got some issues with me, brother, do it, and that gives me 2 tokens. So I'm gonna have to go up to 4, and then I think Jamie, you said as long as you spend your tokens immediately, it doesn't matter. It's fine if you go over 5 as long as you spend them immediately, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, so Sometimes I get angry is one of my other moves, which is when you unleash the darkness through anger or violence, you may choose to take 3 tokens of darkness for doing so. So I'm going to take 3 more darkness tokens right now and immediately spend them to try and trash my little brother. Yeah, by unleashing the darkness on him and just sending, I think it's going to be like rafters falling and maybe lava possibly exploding through the floor, and a very expensive special effects budget spent on this fight. Yeah, so let's see how that goes.
Nice, nice. I love it.
What do I got? Okay, perfect. I rolled a 6. I'm spending. I didn't say it, but I should have said. I'm spending those 3 tokens that I just got. So that goes up to a 9 to
Perfect.
unleash the darkness.
Yeah. So before you choose the 2, what shows that you are the better warrior between you and your brother?
I think that there's a lot of like sort of like cheaty, sort of dirty fighting, cheap tactics that he would employ. So for instance, just starting with, as soon as the glass shatters, like he immediately like lunges a blade through, and what he realizes is that I'm like off to the distance, like Garnet Cyclone, like my image was transposed by the glass a little bit because the glass was imperfect. So like he's like, haha, you fool, you shattered the blade, and like I'm off to the side, just a second away from it. And like another time, like we're both intensely fighting, and like a blade comes flying like from my back, like he summons a blade and comes flying through from my back, and I sort of step aside and it flies at him instead. Like so, like he's totally fighting cheaply, and I totally know how to, like, I'm absolutely prepared to deal with his tricks, because like
Perfect.
This is how I was raised. This is like cutthroat things. All these moments that look like Ember is gonna get trashed, she just barely avoids because she kind of knows his nature, because he's like mom.
Awesome. Okay, so what 2 do you choose? I will say, if you don't choose avoid reprisal, harm, or cost, it's likely you'll pick up a condition or something similar.
That sounds great.
Mhm.
I want to get past their defenses in inflicting condition, and I want to expose a weakness or a flaw. And the weakness or flaw that I want to expose is it's because I care and because I have friends that I'm not all alone. Unlike you, little brother, trapped here with no one who loves you. And I want to, actually, maybe that's not expose weakness flaw. I think that's confuse them for some time. Yeah, I think that's
Nice,
what it
nice.
is. I think that's like I have friends here, and a little bit of that way that looks, at some point literally the ceiling like opens up around us, and like the wall, like it's collapsed down, we could see the sky above, and we could see Civ, and like they're there, and they're like getting all of the Halima to protect us, and the only reason why we're not completely crushed by the mountain is because Civ is up there, and they're protecting me and him incidentally, but like Civ is protecting all of us, and that's why I support. I want him to think on that, think on what it means to have somebody that cares about you like that. But I definitely will not avoid reprisals or harm. So yeah, give me your best shot. We're gonna trade blows because I'm inflicting a condition, and so is he, I assume.
Perfect. And so as you say that, you hear this disgusted noise come from him, and he's barely able to keep your blows at bay. You can see like he's being pushed back, and he slams his hand against the wall, and it starts to crack and seep the same blackish slime that comes through, and it starts to puddle, and he rips out the wall, and this huge wave of slime comes out, and you can see like it's coming from below, and you see some of Celine's clones flowing upwards through the slime, but they're being infected by it. You can see all these eyes are starting to grow all over their body. Some of them are growing very large teeth as they hiss and come out. And he laughs under his breath. What need have I of friends if I have power, the kind of power that you're afraid to wield? I'm unlike you. I don't have to wait for mother's love in order to take the world for myself.
Wow. I'm really torn as to whether I should feel driven to stop him or raging. Like, this is really getting under my skin, and I'm very upset about this. I think the fact that it's so many copies of Celine, even though I was like all down with like get rid of the clones, but like that was okay when Celine wanted to get rid of her clones. It's not okay when other people hurt Celine. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be raging.
Yeah.
I think we're
Nice.
gonna see blades exploding. We're gonna see my hair break into an inferno. And I think like 7 blades fly through the air and like pin him against the wall, pin him against the wall for a moment, and like just as he's like trying to cut him, uh, just as he's trying to cut himself loose, Ember just sort of comes up and she has all these blades, but she just comes up with like one flaming fist and just like clocks him in the jaw and just sends him through a wall that like collapses around him. And like we see like multiple of these like just like the half the mountain collapse on him. Like, he may explode, he may survive that and break out of it, but I think she just buries him in the wall.
And I will say, as a result of you confusing him,
Yeah.
you realize that the clones, he's given them too much power, too much of his power, right? And so you can see like he's the reason why he took that punch and he's weakened is he allowed too much of it to get into the clones, and they all start to amass around you. But they're screeching, they're speaking in a language you don't understand. It scratches at the edge of your hearing, but it sounds familiar what they're screaming at you. You just don't know what it is. What do you do?
I love it. I think like I know I have some kind of, I know Civ can sort of can hear thoughts and hear things anyways. And normally Civ would be too far away for us to like have a psychic communication, but I feel like after that kiss and like after you reaching out to me earlier that we have this connection. So I know you're like it's like, sorry, I know you're busy because you're fending off all of the stuff, but yeah, but I think Civ, you sense like Ember's thoughts reaching out to you, being like, help me understand what's happening here, and I'm gonna try and reach out to Civ to start to decipher what they're saying, like so you can hear what I hear, and I think you'll be able to understand it better than I can. Does that sound cool to you, Jen? Do you
Yeah.
like that?
I have no idea what move to use here.
I feel like this could be Listen to the Dark again, and that I'm being overwhelmed by all this stuff, and that you could help me make sense of it, especially since you
Oh,
have the
okay.
ability to do it from a distance anyway. Like that, it's
Sure. Is this You Are Not Alone Again?
I think so. Does that
Great.
sound
Yeah,
right to you, Jamie?
that works.
Like,
Yeah, I love it.
I'm dealing with forceful emotional turmoil and pressure from my past responsibilities or relationships. Yeah, I feel like I'm
Yeah.
trying to understand what they want, and yeah.
Perfect.
But maybe the move I'm gonna do then is reach for the light, is to try and connect with you. Like maybe that's how I'm going to like ask you for this help, is like reforge that connection. I mean, maybe I'm doing too many moves here. I'm trying to give you a bond in case you need it, but
That's true. We are short on bonds.
when you reach for the light, say how you sincerely connect with someone. Yeah, I think I just tell you I need you. Please help me, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna spend 3 darkness.
I feel like this is such a growth for Ember, because this whole time she used to be like, I'll protect you, or I'll handle it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like yeah, Ember has always been the tough gal, and especially with Civ. Cool. So that's a 5 plus 3 is 8.
Nice.
So you can gain or lose 3 darkness, get a bond, clear 1 condition, mark XP, or clear 1 doom mark.
I actually think, what am I gonna do? I'm thinking about getting rid of one of my conditions.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I am no longer introspective. Feels appropriate.
Now is not the time.
That sounds right to me.
Mm-mm.
Hey, can't do it. Too busy. Gotta
yeah.
save the world. Okay, thanks. Bye.
True.
Yes. Yeah, so I will clear introspective, which means now I'm not -2 to listen to the dark.
And what do you choose, Ember?
I chose. I didn't really. I don't want to get rid of. I don't want to get rid of my raging just yet. I sort of want to play that for a little bit. So I'm gonna choose. I said XP, but I think bonds are more interesting. So I'm going to take a bond with.
Nice.
So, come on. There we go. Yes, I'll take a bond with Civ.
Neat. All right, so I will roll my 3 dice for listen to the dark. I only have the 1 darkness, so I'm going to use 1 darkness. But I do get to roll 3 dice, so. Yeah, I'm glad that I have those those 3 dice. 6, 7, 8, 9 is my total.
Perfect. Once again, we hit it just on the. Yeah, so you're trying to make sense of the languages.
I think you can gain. You manage to keep yourself together. What insight do you gain about your darkness? Yeah, I want to understand. My brother is given his power to them, and they're screaming something. What are they saying? What do they need? What do they want right now?
You hear them like screeching out, "The perfect daughter was made in order to be the perfect queen of flame and ash and obsidian." And you realize that they're chanting, and at the same time, there's a certain resonance of that chant. You can feel the rift energy building up within each of them, and they're all trying to create rift portals around you at the same time.
And rift portals are bad.
Yeah. Especially in having this many all at once, which is why it's a good thing we're going to cut to.
Good thing the island's about
cut to
explode.
Celine, who's about to implode on the source of all the broken rift energy.
Let's do that. I think Ember is like facing like her sword and trying to face off all of them and just like surrounded by them. And yeah, let's cut to Celine.
Nice. And so, Celine, we cut back to you. You and your twin sister are together. The light is like creating this nimbus around you. It's almost like this flare of this rainbow color for a moment as we settle on both of your glowing eyes. You can feel all that energy radiating off you. You can feel the island falling apart and cracking. You can feel that monster down below starting to stir, and like there's this slow motion of an eye opening up just slowly, just a crack of it opening up. But you can also feel the Halima pushing back. You can feel Civ's power coming together and pushing back against you. Like I'm gonna say like it's exactly at that edge of that 1 mile radius, right? Is what we're gonna say. But yeah, you can feel Civ pushing back, trying to protect people from the worst of what the darkness demands of you. And so what happens next?
Celine goes boom. I don't know. Like, I think it just all that. And it's sort of just, it happens in silence. Like you see images, like, it's just quiet and you just see these flashes of what you described of each little spot. And all of a sudden it cuts back to Celine, and like her and her sister just lock eyes for a second. And the tears are still running down her face, but now there's a soft smile knowing that, oh, this is my twin, like we're doing this together. And then that loud noise of explosion as everything just goes out.
And then as the explosion happens, your sister throws her arms around you and she says, "We don't have to be alone anymore."
Regan, I have a question about the explosion in the rift. Does it close
Ripple.
the rift? Or does it like go through the rift and destroy whatever's on the other side of it?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, because the Halima like used their powers like close the rift, but clearly that was not like a permanent solution. And I feel like you're kind of this amount of power channeling feels like more like a permanent kind of solution. So I'm just sort of wondering what that looks like rift wise.
Yeah. What are we thinking, Celine?
Yeah, I think it's not only. Ooh, excuse me, got the hiccups. I think it's the explosion goes through the rift, and also at the same time comes out of the rift. So it's like the sort of like parallel university sort of like thing happening, where it's to and from, and like the wane and wax, and when they meet in the middle, like the two explosions coming from both sides, it's sort of just like I wouldn't say heal it, but more like seal it. Like it just sort of like the blinding white light that comes across the rift just sort of like encapsulates the whole thing, and then it just sort of fades away.
Ooh, I like that. And then so as that happens, we can see all the other rifts that we're threatening to open. The same thing happens where light comes in and comes out, and these explosions of lights and colors all throughout the island. And then around Ember, each of these Celine clones that have the rift energy in them, they start to like crumple inwards, almost like they're folding in on themselves, folding back out, and they're like screeching in that same language. And Civ, you're able to hear, and so one queen destroys another before they're completely.
Morgan, could I throw out a possibly very tragic twist on this?
Yes, please.
You said you had the idea of like an explosion coming from both sides of the rift and like meeting together. Is it possible that Selena, your clone, your sister, would have to go through the rift and you both are doing this thing and that's what causes it? So when the rift seals, you're cut off from each other, like she's on the other side of it and you're separated? Just throwing that out as a possibility. Like
I was gonna say it.
Not at all.
My heart. No, I love this.
I felt like, well, if there's one from each side, it could be from both of you, and that's the only way to do this.
Yes, I think that's what happens.
Okay.
And
we
so
were never meant to really be together.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so true. And so as the reality shifts, you can feel like it starts to build between you, this wall that starts to push the two of you away from each other. And you hear your sister say, no matter what, I'll make my way back to you, no matter how long it takes.
I don't know what to say to that. Sadness.
And she just says, please find Luna, find our little sister. Please promise me you'll protect her.
I will. And I think that's when happens.
It comes and she fades away, but she's just smiling with the tears running down her face. And she's being very brave on the other side as you see like these clouds of darkness envelope her and pull her away.
Whoa.
And there's just this moment of utter silence. Like, and you can see how the trees have bent backwards from the explosion and broken. You can see how it's torn through the rock and the stone. And then there's a moment where the Halima just sort of like stand vibrating against the power for a moment before they all collapse downwards. The last one to fall is Apostle Solar. Like he holds on until the last minute before he slams down onto his knees. And then our big kitty one like collapses cat-like and starts immediately taking a huge Halima cat nap. Asking so much energy from a cat, impossible. But yeah, and so there's a moment of quiet. So almost everyone is like off of the island. As far as you know, you can see like the portals from Division closing behind you, Civ, and there's this moment of calm and peace, but slowly underneath it starts to rumble. And Celine, you can feel that the monster is like starting to stir and shift and move. Even though you know that should not be the case, because you know that the reason why the rift opened in the first place was because the monster was forced to wake. And so now that the rift is permanently closed, it shouldn't be waking up. That shouldn't be happening.
Can I reach out to it? Because it is my pager and be like, what are you doing? Go back to sleep.
Yeah, you can.
We don't need you. Everything's okay up here. It's fine.
Kidnapping.
Kidnapping. Just
don't look behind the curtain.
Absolutely, absolutely. So your move is my dark patron.
Mhm.
And so we've already established that they're monster. So you can mark one doom and receive a temporary boon or ally from them. They will use your power for a time to serve their own plans, but you can choose to mark two dooms to receive the help but not serve their agenda.
You know what? I think I will just mark one, and I will. Maybe this will be Celine's next chapter. Or
That's true. That's true. That's true. And so I'll say that you mark it to connect with them
yeah.
telepathically. Um, and when you do, you realize that the dream around them to sleep, because they've been sleeping for so long through the centuries, through the generations, uh, the dreamscape around them is thick and lush and alive. It's almost like an exact copy of the island, except in weird rainbowish colors, like it's fragmented in that dream-like quality way. And uh, you see the eyes slowly open up, and you hear this deep rumbling voice. My dear, dear child, what can I do for you?
I'm just wondering why you're waking.
It is not of my own design. It is not what I wish for. But the other queen, your rival, wishes it to be so.
The other queen.
The one of
think-
fire and ash.
I think
Does-
cinematically,
does-
Ember is like walking out of the debris as you hear this.
Does Celine know this? Like, does Celine know that like that's what Ember is? Or did we have these conversations? I don't know if we did. Or
Have we
not.
talked
I
about
just
our various
realized-
apocalypses?
That's right. That's a good point.
So she's like, wait a second, what?
And the large monster says, her daughter arrives next to you. The daughter is her connection to this world. If you destroy it,
No. Oh my god.
Hurt my girlfriend.
Don't kill my girlfriend.
Remember that Celine also has a connection to Ember, the original bond. Oh my god, no. Oh god, yes, that's right. I'm just reading my notes.
Uh-huh.
Ember reminds me of the volcano I was tossed in when I was sacrificed in. If our powers were ever combined, it may trigger something inside Celine that may cause massive destruction and possible the destruction of humanity.
I mean, that feels about right. I am definitely my mother's connection to this world, and that's what's waking up the monster that's going to destroy us all. So if we combined our powers, yep,
Oh.
that would be the end of it.
Oh my god.
I also feel like Civ, I just want to point out, I feel like Civ is sort of like uniquely capable of also figuring out who's pulling the puppet strings here. And I think Civ may very well know, like, these two queens maybe be getting pitted against each other by Civ's creator, right? Like there may be more. We know there's all this memory loss and things like that have been happening. So before we go toe to toe and like explode in one another, I think Civ
Yeah,
do we
I
want
do-
to unlock Doom's door?
I would love to do that thing.
because I definitely think Ember's coming out and she is raging because that is the condition she had. So she is ready for a fight. Not she wasn't thinking with you, but like if something comes to her, she is definitely ready for a fight right now. Like what? Bring it on. She got like 1,000 little cuts and scrapes and burns. So
Exactly. Okay, so unlocking Doom's door. When any monster is ready to declare the truth of the apocalypse plans here, say what it is. We can also have a meta conversation as players, like trying to figure out what it is, even though, like narratively in the story, it's a monster like coming up with a theory. So roll plus the number of keys found minus the mystery's complexity. And as a reminder, you can't use bonds. in this
I don't
roll.
have any anyway.
Yeah. So there's that. So we have a total of, it's complexity 7, and we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 keys, thanks to some punchy punch,
Sweet.
looking at the body stuff. So you're rolling with a +2, which is actually quite good.
All right.
So to review all the
I
clues
roll
that
really
we have.
badly.
Oh no, you did? Did you?
Yeah. I sure did. Sorry.
Oh no.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
see, that's a 6.
That's
and we
a
can't
6.
modify it, so that's
Nope.
okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. But yeah, sorry, I should have been clear. Like we should have said what the theory was before we wrote, but no problem.
Sorry.
No, because it makes sense for the roll. It's okay. Because the monsters have missed something vital and the keeper of the door reacts. Every monster takes 1 point of doom. But our working theory first was that there's someone else who's pulling the strings. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's the maker, right? And yeah, I thought originally when we first found out about him and him being here on this island that maybe he was pulling puppet strings for somebody else, but increasingly I'm sort of believing that he's probably pulling puppet strings for himself. And yeah, I'm not totally sure what his end game is, but I suspect that it's maybe he's not even from here, right? Maybe he just wants to destroy the earth and or rule it himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like he wanted, I think earlier on we heard something about him wanting to be able to give like the powers of the Halima to everyone. And I feel like what he wants to do somehow is like merge all of these incredibly monstrous powers into his creation. I think he's trying to make like, I think he is fundamentally like a maker, a creator, and he's trying to make like the perfect creation, like that none of that he doesn't see that you were. He doesn't realize he's already done it. But what do you think, Jen? Do you think that he wants to make something new?
Ooh. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I mean, maybe that's what I think. I don't know that it's true.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is true and I don't realize it.
Right. Okay, so because we rolled a 6, oh my gosh.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's always so funny when this happens. So don't worry about it. So everybody marks doom, and I will get to react. I'll say what happens is as it's coming together, as you're trying to figure this out, Civ, that's when you feel like there's the sound of a heartbeat, and you can feel your own heart like starting to react, and you can feel the heart, what remains of Electro Rogue, starting to beat from inside the facility. And we cut back to it, and we see part of the glass has like embedded itself into this huge heart that's like several stories high, and slowly the heart starts to open up, and these large hands start to come through, dripping slime, and the hands are covered in all of these eyes, and it starts to emerge. And we can see that the whole time the missing Halima was inside the heart.
Oh, damn.
And it was being rebirthed.
Oh, the missing pilot? You mean Luna? Is this
the missing Halima?
Oh, the missing Halima. Okay.
Which also means that presumably Luna is inside it.
Got it.
And so we see the Halima, which is Hydra Omicron. The wings start to expand outwards, and this large broken black crown and darkness just falls from it, and it tears open the heart, and it screeches out towards the sky, and the whole island starts to shake as the monster awakens. What do you do? I mean, Ember, you told me you were ready to fight.
Oh yeah. It's funny you say that. Hold on. We're popular enough that we have spammers. Goodbye account. Goodbye.
Bye spam. Bye spam.
Goodbye spammer. Yeah. So this creature looks unabashedly like it has ill intentions for like it has ill intentions for both my beloved companions and also probably like existence as a whole. And
Yeah, I think it
yeah,
makes sense. Like the only thing we forgot to account for in the theory is why was Luna and the Halima taken, right? So
yeah, right. And it was to make this perfect. It was to make this perfect creature, this vessel. Um, yeah. So I think it's funny because I think Ember comes out and she like looks at Salid like, "What? You want some?" Right? Like there's this moment of like, are we gonna do this? And then when this creature bursts out, um, uh, uh, like a smile like cracks on her face as she's like very much ready to uh, to turn her rage against a foe rather than a friend. Are folks
yeah,
cool if I fight this thing? Is that cool?
I like the nodding. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Ember.
I
You have
mean,
come on, tough guy.
I do have to come on tough guy. So let's read that move. Come on, tough guy. When you go up against a being of darkness that is colossal and otherworldly, tell everyone what you say or do to taunt them and keep their attention. Um, and I think I'm gonna say my mother would my mother would have you conquer this realm for her, but my mother isn't here. I am, and like this giant spear of obsidian like breaks through underneath, and I like jump down from the volcano and land on top of this like obsidian spear that looks oddly like my mother's throne as that it came up out of the volcano, and I'm standing there like next to where it's coming out of the heart, like just ready to tackle it.
Yeah, and I think right before you do the roll, I'll say like you hear your brother's voice screeching, "I'll take this pet and I'll destroy you with it, sister, and mother will have no choice but to give me her power." And you can see him like rising above, like levitating behind the Halimau, and you can see him reach out. Civ, you can feel that this person is grabbing onto Luna and using her as a conduit in order to control the Halimau.
mm.
Okay, let's do it. Let's see how the roll goes.
All right. I asked someone to give me the best shot, not hold back. So I'm gonna take 4 darkness for that and immediately
Nice.
spend 3 of it. Put me at 2 darkness and then roll. Come on, tough guy. Bump. Let's see how that went. All right, that's oh no, did it just do it? Yeah, there we go. Took it a second. Why is my machine going so slow? Are we still there? Okay. Yes. Sorry, my machine glitched. All right, that's a 9, I believe. Which I think says I've got them right where I want them.
Nice. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So choose one. You can gain you can give your allies a golden opportunity and gain a bond with one of your monsters, or gain a key of the apocalypse at great cost, which might be great for a reroll, so you have a +3 instead. Or you can immediately inflict 2 conditions on them, but take 1 in return.
I think I want to give my allies a golden opportunity because I know that that Ember doesn't know this, but you've said it, and I think it seems really cool for Ember to sort of hold the corporeal form while Civ or Celine could try and rescue Luna from being controlled inside it. So I want to grapple with this thing, and it's this like the very end of Thor Ragnarok, the Hulk like jumps up and like punches this monster that's like the side like taller than a mountain like in the jaw and like knocks him aside. And so that's what I'm imagining, is that this Halima is massive but somehow defying physics in all ways. Ember is grappling with it, and you can see maybe the insertion tube where Luna is, and I want and sort of she's exposed to Celine and Civ.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, I
And,
kind of like the idea, like you punch towards and then you meet like your tiny fist and their big one, and it
yes,
forces
yes,
it
exactly.
forces the capsule like out because of the force of the punch.
Yep. And I think I want I get a bond with a monster. I think I want a bond with my brother. To just like show him like nah, that only works if we don't stop you, and we're gonna stop you and make him. I want him to do the like, oh snap, double take of like he doesn't get a creature that destroys the world.
Yeah,
That
as you
easily.
take that bond, um, a memory starts to flicker in your mind, and you see the maker above you placing a hand on your forehead, and he looks towards your mother and he says, "Are you sure you want her to forget everything?" And she says, "Yes. She can't remember her brother." So
This
take a
maker guy's a
bond.
jerk.
So take a bond. His name is Ash.
Okay, cool. I was just calling him Prince of the Cinder Throne, but yes,
Oh,
we'll
that's
give
even that's
him.
very cool too.
No, no. I mean, giving him a name. Yeah, Ash. I'll give him both. He can be Ash, Prince of the Cinder Throne.
So
For some reason,
you
I think
two
that's
have
really
a
cool.
golden opportunity. You can, if you want, try to figure out what's going on again and unlock Doom's door again to get the perfect opportunity, or you can punch and or rescue, whatever you like. It's very open here. What are we in the mood for? I think I want to. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask Morgan what they are interested in doing.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to
Oh,
ask him.
geez, I don't know. I think after being connected to the monster below and hearing that, like I don't, is she could I don't even know if she connected the dots that Ember is the queen's conduit or anything like that, because I don't know if she knows. I don't think we pass notes like that.
We've been a little busy.
It's been a busy night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Absolutely.
I realize Civ is aware of mostly everybody, but then not Ember and like Celine.
Yeah. Civ is the conduit between us, if anything.
Is there a way to like figure that, like to like understand that or figure that out, or
Yeah, no worries. In fact, I'm going to say I'll offer it to you. You're still connected to your patron. You still haven't gotten that boon or ally. He's only given you like a hint of what you can do. Um, and because the monster is here the whole time, this large monster sleeping and dreaming and watching everything, I think you see flashes of what Ember was doing, what Ember came across with the clones, Ember fighting her brother. You see flashes of what Civ has discovered. So you're like, you realize that this monster has a way of like dreaming other people's dreams as well. So he's able to like sort of see the truth around him, but he's always just asleep. He can't do anything about it.
just observes life passing by, in a sense?
It's just like when I was in the ocean.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I think once Celine knows that it's Ember, she's gonna be like, Ember is a friend. I cannot. I cannot. I that's just not a thing I can do. And like she's just like overwhelmed with this feeling, so I'm gonna take 2. Wait, no, I can't take 2. Wait, no, I can't take 2. Yeah, I'm gonna take 2. I'm not gonna hit 5 yet. I've done that enough. I'm gonna take 2 darkness tokens because she's just feeling overwhelmed. Like, wait a second, no, that's just what? Like, just. And I think she's gonna turn, and can she see what's happening down below with the heart and the Halima and all that?
Oh yeah, because like we established like all the way from where Ember was, there's a huge crack towards the surface, so you can clearly see, like the port facility is just like opened up, like a Polly Pocket, like it's just all to bear.
That is a throwback.
Nice. and that's the nature of the move, is it says you create a golden opportunity for your allies. So I mean, I think not only that you see Ember, but you see that she's fighting with a Halimo, and I think you see like the pod that Luna's in sticking out of the back of Halimo. I mean, I really want you to have the opportunity to see your sister. Is my thought here, is that like you probably can't pull her out safely because they're psychically merged, but I don't know, maybe
At least
Sid could
I
help
can
with
start
that.
getting there. Like maybe that's when Celine starts just leaves the conversation she's having with the monster below, because Celine has left the chat, quote unquote. Because now she's got to focus on other things. And she turns, and I think she's still floating and flying, and she's just gonna start like flying in that direction. But whatever Civ wants to do, they can do it before I get there.
Yeah. So you see Celine, what I think it was to feel all that power like coming towards you.
Mhm.
You can feel the monster waking up down below. And so starting to shift and move. And you see this creature like yeah, actually with your abilities, you can hear Luna inside, and you can just hear her screaming, like she's just screaming, help me please, like over and over again. But she's like, you can sense how she's trapped. When
Mhm.
you look in, you can see like her body is comatose, but inside her mind is screaming.
Mhm.
What do you do?
Yep. I think I'm gonna do Walk with Me in Dreams to try to bring her out of that place. Yep.
Yeah, try to
Mhm.
break that connection.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do
Um,
it.
So I am gonna use 3 darkness because I've been rolling real bad. Watch this be a 12. No, it's a 7, so I got a 10. That's great.
Oh my gosh,
Exactly what I
perfect.
wanted.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
perfect.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, that's the wrong move. I bring something back with me. I mean, I want to bring Luna back with me.
You want to learn something significant?
I
I don't
sure
mind
do.
throwing in a
Yes.
key so you can roll again with a
Yes.
+3. So as the dream opens up, you see Luna's dreams are very simple. She has all these dreams of like hanging out with the other pilots, connecting to the other Halimau. They're You can feel that sense of belonging, of family that she's had, that she's so happy with her sister, that she's happy to be here on Island Zero. She's happy to have purpose, um, and how much she loves all the Halimau. And slowly you can sense how her memories were being eroded and being pulled away, because you realize she suspected something was going on, and you realize that every time the maker would remove her memories, it would just resurface again against his will. Right? There's something about her that's resistant.
Hmm.
So you're starting to piece together. So
Yeah.
the key I'm going to give you is that aside from all of the Celine clones, you can see that the maker was specifically trying to graft on the rift powers of the rift monster abilities onto the clones.
Hmm.
Like he was trying to recreate these twin sisters for some reason. And you realize that the powers that Celine has is a reflection of like the energy from the rift.
Hmm.
But as you're able to do it, like, so you pull out, I love the idea of like you just like don't like taking out
Yep.
like taking out Luna. We see you back like down below Stone, and you're holding on to her. She's still in her pilot suit. She looks really exhausted. You can see how gaunt her eyes are, and you can see like there are symbols of possession that have been drawn onto her face, like onto her cheeks
Mhm.
and everything, in order to like empty out her consciousness, so she's easier to use as a conduit. But her eyes slowly open up, and she looks at you. Where's like it's a lot to take in now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Like the island is like. So she looks around, she's panicking, and she's like, Where are the other pilots? Is everybody okay?" And she turns towards her Halima, and you can see her panicking because like now that they're disconnected, the Halima is like just you can see that the brother Ash is having a hard time controlling them,
Yeah.
and more eyes start to open up, the wings start to get bigger, the crown starts to get heavier, as like he's overcompensating and putting too much of his power into the Halimao. And Ember, you saw what happened the last time he put in too much of his power into something.
Yeah, right. Started opening up rifts to mama's home. So I got to stop that.
Yeah, and it's probably
Um,
not going to be smooth because like Celine closed the initial rift, so whatever he's going to do, it's probably not going to be.
it's gonna probably be really explosive. How close? What positionally? Where is? I think Morgan, you said Selena was like flying down. I want to say that I'm like trapped grappling this thing, and I say like, I think I'm gonna look to you, Celine, and say, my brother, you have to stop him, otherwise he'll unleash my mother's power, and destroy every. I mean, it's hard to even convey like what he's gonna do. Um, Especially given the scope of what just happened, like destroy everything is so like passe at this point. Like I feel like you just stop the
Like,
apocalypse
hey,
right
by the
now.
way, can you just handle that over there? Thanks.
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, I think she's gonna turn to you, even though I do love myself some punching, because she's tied up with this Halimo, and she looks to you to stop her brother in whatever way
and
you.
technically, the dark, the my patron, the monster from below, said that I need to stop the queens. And if Ember says that's the queen's like son or her brother,
Yeah, yeah.
or like she's gonna be like, oh, so that Ember's not the conduit, it's the brother.
Yeah.
I gotta destroy the brother.
Whatever we.
I don't have happy
Oh,
feels towards my brother right now. I mean,
yeah. Well, technically, if you want to fold that into unlocking Doom's door, Celine, because that can become true if you roll well enough.
Oh,
It'll become the truth
okay. How do
instead
y'all
of
feel
you
about that?
denying it.
How does everybody feel about that?
Feel
Yeah.
good about me not rolling again.
yeah, I think it's great. I mean, we've rescued Luna, which was a big thing that was still left open, and I think yeah, I feel like it's got to be related that my brother is also what's waking up the your patron. So I feel
Mhm.
like putting my brother back in the ground uh, uh, is a good way to stop your patron. And yeah, I think it all makes total sense. I think you should.
Yeah, we could craft a theory about why your brother
Yep.
is here. What's he doing? What does Ember's mother want? What does the Maker want? So,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do we think is going on?
Well, what the monster is saying is that the queen is trying to take over and rule humanity. So maybe that's why she's pushing her brother to do things, because obviously she's not getting through you, Ember, so therefore she has to go through other means to get what she
Mhm.
wants.
Well, she said early on, if we remember a few sessions ago, she said, "Bring me the heart. That's all that I need." And I think that I think it's sort of going to be the combined effort of you, because I'm not her agent anymore. I refuse to be her agent. So I think my little brother is instead. He's acting on her behalf, whether he knows it or not. I think he's acting on her behalf. He might think that this is his own agenda, but she's manipulated him. And I think you know. This Halimo that I'm wrestling with right now is the key to opening up. You know, when she said she wanted the heart, this is what she really wanted was the Halimo inside. I think this Halimo is the key um, to awakening your patron. And so I think, yeah, if we stop my brother from controlling it and we stop this Halimo from raging out of control. I feel like it's a combined effort of like
Mhm.
stop the Halimo, you stop my brother.
With our powers combined.
With our powers combined, exactly.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. I like it.
Jen, do you want to add any Civ related detail in there regarding the maker or anything else? Do you want to?
I mean, nothing is like explicitly coming to mind right now. I just keep getting more and more convinced that the Maker is a bad dude
Just a little
and
bit.
should be thwarted at all costs.
I think you're right there.
Absolutely. Like maybe we could even say the maker is using Ember's mom.
Yeah, for real.
Mhm.
And I wonder if because I have these memories of the Maker being like, "You're my only failure that I didn't destroy," right? Me sort of realizing that maybe I wasn't made to become part of the apocalypse. Maybe he just made me as an art project. And like, okay, I'm gonna have to deal with that now. But
Yeah.
it's-
Oh my gosh. True.
it's interesting. So
Absolutely. Okay. So you get to roll with a +3.
A +3. Okay. Roll. Oh, so that's a 12 on the dice. So +3 is a 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So-
truth is complicated. I mean, that's fair given our storyline.
Uh-huh.
Well, the keeper of the doors will either add an unwelcome complication to the truth or present a dangerous opportunity to stall the apocalypse. I'm gonna say that the theory is true, but as it all comes together, you realize that what the monster was telling you, Celine, is true. That there is a conduit point, right? And so if you get rid of the brother in some fashion, force him back into his dimension, it should work. But as long as anything that resonates from another dimension is here, it's going to cause problems, including the monster that's underneath this island.
But
I
what
feel
if
like
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like I am going to do the thing that I've done before in a game with Jen that was very cruel, where our characters fall in
don't
love.
you do it, John. Don't you do it, John Nittner.
Jen already knows.
Okay, that's fair.
No, you can actually do it because I'll just follow you. It's fine.
But I think the answer is that like both Ember and her brother need to leave. Like if either of us are here, my mother will have a toehold. I feel like that's
Or tangent, I just feed your brother to the monster below.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, worth trying, I think.
worth trying. Worth trying.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah, you could sacrifice the brother.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I love this, like taking hold of your narrative. Yes, very
Yes.
feminist.
Yes.
I approve.
And also
Throw the man in.
of course, the monster from below wanted to the queen's conduit to be destroyed, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, like, I just say it.
Yeah. Well, we know that there's a big old like there's like the volcano is becoming active, the creature's waking up, like there's a big hole in this thing. Yeah, a nascent prince of cinder could be thrown into. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go after the brother. And oh yeah, just in case y'all didn't know, her eyes are just all white now. Just
Nice.
if y'all forgot. Yeah, but she's gonna go after Ash. And
Yeah.
ooh,
Do you want to use on Knife's Edge in order to be a more effective monster?
always, I always want to be a more effective monster, but I don't have. No, do I? I think I do. Hold on. Yes, I do have darkness tokens. I was like, do I have any darkness tokens? Yes. So I'm gonna use 3 darkness tokens. So it brought me down to 1 to do Knife's Edge.
Nice.
So gonna roll it. Oh no, that puts me on a 14. What's with these high rolls?
I know these rolls are
We're
perfect
just like
right now.
swing, just going back and forth.
Yeah.
I remember our first session, we were always sitting in the middle so calmly. Yeah, so an 11 plus, your power resists. Hold 3 and choose 1 from below. I'm going to say what it looks like.
Okay.
Is just to explain why this is happening is as you draw your power onto yourself, you hear this echo in the back of your mind, and you hear your twin sisters screaming, like, no matter what, I won't let you hurt her. She's been through enough. And then it fades away. So like it causes your power to falter for a moment.
What? Oh boy. I mean, I can always mark doom. That's that, you know.
It feels appropriate.
Oh, did my conditions clear, by the way? I just want to double check.
Yes, because it was the end of the scene. Yes.
Okay.
So
I just
it all
wanted
cleared.
to-
Yeah.
I just
Sorry
wanna-
for not bringing that up.
That's okay, because I didn't know. But you know what? I'll just mark more doom, because, like, you know, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does the power cruelly change your form?
Exactly. It changes again.
I think maybe. Ooh. I think the white light starts becoming like a mercury silver.
Nice.
So nice.
Even her eyes just change from the pure white now to the silver.
Ooh, I kind of like the idea, like it's giving this reflection of the other world your sister is in, right? So whatever
Ooh.
she's looking at, it shows up in your eyes.
Oh, so
Ooh,
cool.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
Then I
Yeah.
got whole 3.
You do. So this is going to be very easy for you to fuck up this guy now.
I'm going to unleash the dark. But you cause great collateral damage unless you mark a condition. I'll just mark a condition. I'm reactive. Boom, done.
Yeah, I was about to say more collateral damage.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Pretty
you know
sure
what?
this volcano's dust. No matter
I've
what.
done enough.
Sure. But yeah, okay. So you unleash the dark with great precision. I assume you get past their defenses and ooh. Yeah,
He's
kind
already
of
got one condition that he's received from earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I basically became reactive because of that. So that's 1. Nothing can stop you breaking through or slipping past barriers or restraints anywhere. So whatever power Ash has cannot stop me from doing this.
Oh, nice. And also, what's the? You still get to choose another one from Unleash the Dark, by the way.
Shoot.
Yeah. No worries.
Let me do that real quick before I forget again.
Yeah. I will just remind, like, if you don't choose Avoid Reprisal Harm or Cost, you will probably take a condition, so it could be another form of cost.
I think I will do that. I'll avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. Just make this easy.
Yeah. True. Okay. And then you use your second hold.
Nothing can stop you.
Yeah. Perfect.
Breaking through marking condition to bring others with you without causing them great harm. I don't really care about causing him great harm, honestly.
It's true. He's not someone you.
I care.
I imagine part of that could also be if he's controlling the Halimo, like is it wrestling with you? Like if wrestling with me, it might try to grab you or stop you or whatnot. But I imagine you just like blaze past it. Like it can't get hold of you. Like nothing, no defenses he can put up stop you from getting to him.
Yeah, I just straight up tackle and keep going sort of thing. Like just bear hug and just keep going maybe. I don't like and she's flying a lot faster too. She's like bullet train fast, like just whizzing by.
I love it. And then what are you going to spend your last hold on?
You can shield others from terrible danger by channeling your darkness. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to shield Luna and Civ and Ember from
all of the shenanigans, yeah.
all the shenanigans, all of whatever may happen when Ash is fed to the monster, because we don't know what the reaction is. So maybe like in her wake she leaves like a glowing like silver bubble, like, or a wall. Maybe she does like one last like pulse, and that pops up.
Ooh, okay. All right. So I shall describe what happens next. So as you grab him and he's like kicking and screaming, and you can see like he's pulling at the Halimau, trying to like control them to protect him, but you're able to weave in and out. You can see the Halimau start to falter, like as he gets drawn away from it, as the connection, you feel it, Civ, the connection just like break, the sound of glass as the Halimau starts to fall towards the ground. And you can feel the sigh of relief coming from the Halimau as the control is broken. You can feel Ash the brother trying to regain it, but you move quickly like a bullet towards the volcano. And you can hear the monster's voice in your head, Celine, if this is what you want. And slowly the volcano starts to glow with this unnatural blue light that just starts to fill up the entire island, where all of the leaves become fluorescent, this bright, bright blue, as it spills forward and the monster slowly starts to wake up and the whole volcano starts to shake. And you drop him screaming, and he tries to fight back against you. And then his eyes suddenly go blank, and you hear him say, "If this is what you demand, mother." And he falls backwards into the volcano, and you can just see the volcano start to implode in on itself. And you hear the monster in your head, Celine, say, "I will take this power and do with it as I will, my dear, if this is what you wish."
It is.
I can only grant you a short time of reprieve before the consequences of this will rise again. And you hear him say, "You have 1 year to find your sister." And then there's just this silence that just like implodes all throughout the island, and it just flickers and fades, and the volcano disappears. Like as if it was never there.
Nice.
And Civ, you can feel it, like you could feel the presence of this monster. You didn't realize how strong its psychic presence was the entire time as soon as you landed here, but now that it's gone, you can feel it, like this great void.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't even realize it was there because it was like too big of a presence, right? It like couldn't have been a consciousness. Yeah, now it's just big empty space.
And I think the last thing that's going to happen is you hear this big sigh behind you. It sounds very familiar. For a moment, you think it's Ember. But then you turn around and it's Ember, but wow, her hair looks really great. And she has this crown on her head.
Not start macking on my new bae. I'm just saying. Sorry.
And she comes up to you, and you realize she's dragging something behind her, and she throws down the unconscious body of your maker in front of you, and she says, "What's next, darling?" And I think that's where we're gonna end.
Yeah, that's
nice. Love it.
Yes. All right, thank you so much for playing.
That was so good.
Oh, so
good. Okay, so I definitely think I know we're a little past the time, but if you have I'm going to go ahead. I mean, I know it's the last session, but just in case, I think everyone should go ahead and mark 3 XP from the end of session moves. I feel like we hit all of those beats pretty well about expressing your monstrous nature, humanity, learning significant about yourself or about your fellow monsters. Everyone marks the XP for that. And oh, I'm thinking about the Doom stuff. Yeah, but I think everyone has the possibility to at least mark one Doom if they want. But if not,
I
it's
mean, actually, with my last thing I did with shielding from barriers or whatever, I had to like mark a doom, and that actually filled up my doom track again.
nice,
Mhm.
nice.
So you have three Doom tracks now?
Yeah.
Three, which puts you what, two
Oh,
away from you becoming a harbinger of doom yourself. Love it.
Yes.
oh my gosh. so, so good, so good. Do. Yeah. Oh, and I can see we have some level ups.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm gonna both get a new summon move, or and I'm gonna advance both on XP and Doom, because one more Doom would put me get my first Doom move. So
yeah.
Oh my god, you haven't had doom move yet.
I haven't. No.
I
And
only
here I
just
am.
got my first one tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to the Doom Club.
Yeah, because you've been hitting it like
Just eat it like candy. Just nom 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 doom.
that's pretty that's pretty that's so true to what's been happening. Uh but yeah, okay. So I think what I'd like to do is because it's the last one, I think at least a short epilogue of what your characters are up to in the aftermath uh, before we go into really quick stars and wishes, unless we want to cut out one of those things for the sake of time. I know it's pretty late there.
I'm doing okay on time.
I'm okay. I'm
I'm
energized,
fine.
so I'm okay
Yeah,
for late
exactly.
slate.
Yeah, all that drama that
It has energized me.
yeah. That's like you were so cool, Morgan. Okay, so yeah, okay, so let's do like an epilogue moment for each of us. Let's start with Civ. What does your epilogue look like? Like it can
Mhm.
happen back in the vision or it can happen in the far future, near future, whatever you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat and have two because the first one is very short, which is the moment where I am with both future Ember and current Ember,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just very
Sexy.
confused. I'm very confused. I don't know which one I'm dating. Maybe I'm dating both of them. Just very, very confused, stone faced. Um,
I am
yeah.
gonna say that the older Ember is very happy to be dating you because she says in her timeline it didn't happen.
Aww.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think my sort of epilogue, I picked a division move of Lorehound because anytime I have the option to pick a library, I'm going to pick a library. And I think my epilogue is Civ hanging out in a library, like trying to research, did the maker person, did he learn these skills from anywhere? Is there anybody else sitting on the bottom of the ocean? Is there anybody else? Who Civ can help. And I also think the maker has been like imprisoned. Like I don't actually want to kill him at all. He needs to be
There's like a
stuck in a
special
place
division
for a long
prison.
time, like I was. Yeah.
True. And you're hanging out with the penguin, I assume,
Yeah.
at the
I
library.
forgot
A
about
penguin
the
librarian.
penguin.
That's such perfect because synergy. Because Ember was in the library researching things at the very beginning of us before we all in
It's
our
very
in our
good.
prologue. So it's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. And then what do we see of Ember?
I think uh, uh, the two moves I took, the Doom move I took was Heavy as the Crown. You may always state that Harbinger of Doom of the Apocalypse knows you, and the Dark Prophecy you're destined to fulfilled. And also, the move I took was We're Family Now. When someone with you would spend a bond, it's better. And I'm going to sort of combine the two of those to say that there is uh, a heavy resonant thud of iron dropping on stone, and uh, and um, and like the camera like pans and it sees this crown hit the stone floor and kind of like do that thing where a disc will wobble for a little while before it finally like stops, and then it pans up and it's both Embers staring at their mom saying saying now there's two of us you can't that you don't have control over, so just give up while while you're ahead, and it's like peace out, mom. And yes, so I think the combined Embers are telling them mom to piss off. And uh and then there's like this very confused look of like, yeah, like what is like, it's a confused look between them, and it's clearly a confused look about what is our relationship with Civ. Right? Like what, like how does that proceed?
How does that work?
And I think maybe there's a weird polycule with Civ and Ember. I don't know. I'm not sure what that looks like.
That's amazing.
I have to insert that Rosario is there to talk you through it. He,
Oh, that's
he
perfect.
becomes a
Oh,
permanent
perfect.
counselor at the division.
I love that.
Yes, yes,
That's
please.
that's what I want to cut to. That'll be my second one. Then is the two Embers talking about forming a polycule, if Civ is into it, and like how that even would work with Rosario. I think that's great.
I kind of think there's a moment where Rosario suggests, well, we could always ask your future self, and both of you go no at the same time.
Yes, I love it.
Okay,
I
and
love
then
that I have a darkest thing, which is to ask someone to love me and only me. It's like love me and only me. But there's two.
That's amazing.
I could not have predicted that would happen when I wrote down that line.
No.
Like, there's no way I would have thought at some point there's gonna be.
So would that be just me at this time frame, or would it be both me's, or like would it,
I'm crying from
It's gonna take some therapy to figure that out.
Yeah, it's gonna, we're not.
Stop.
Yes.
No, I was just gonna say Rosario is there, a permanent part of the division. So.
A necessary part.
She's the division's counselor now. Yes,
Yeah.
this is true.
Awesome. All right, and then so what do we see of Celine?
Oh, I don't know, because I don't know. I have to take another Doom move, but like it's gonna be like one of the. I don't have access to the actual ones, and it's like the last thing too. So I'm not worried about taking it per se, because I don't think it will really affect my narrative. As first off, Celine drops off a trinket for Winter. Is that the Yeti's name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they're always on a mission, no matter what. We'll always give a trinket.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm
what
just
did you give?
That's what I'm thinking about right now. Do you think they were like tiny little like like match car sizes of like the Halimas that they have for like
so cute.
trying to do original like developing designs on?
Yeah. I like that. Or like they had even though there was a lot of computers, they had one engineer had like a scale, like to scale of the monsters.
Oh,
in the
you
city.
know, one of
Like,
those
yeah.
engineers had a 3D printer, and
Yeah.
they just went
Oh my
nuts
God.
with it.
And there was
Exactly.
I mean, they had D&D games, so like they had to have like
Yeah,
Halima
Yeah.
simulation fights.
Exactly.
That was
it's for
tactical
research.
planning,
Of
Celine.
course.
This was Fletcher
course.
Payne doing strategic defense initiatives.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think
Not playing with toys.
I'm gonna get which one's the struggle bus again?
Apostle
Spider.
Solar.
Solar.
It's a spider
Yeah.
cat one, is that right? Or
Yeah.
Oh, he's like
lizard spider.
the big giant. Yeah, it's the lizard spider one. Exactly.
lizard spider? Yeah, I think she's gonna take that little mini. I'm gonna call it a mini now because that's what I'm thinking. It's like a D&D mini, that mini, and have like a way to like tie a string around it, so like whenever she presents it to Winter can like figure out where they can put it on their body and stuff. Like,
Oh, it's so cute. Perfect. And like
yes.
I kind of would see Winter going "Rawr," like holding up the
Yes, it was the fiercest of
Facing.
them all.
Love it.
And
Perfect.
I think my second scene is going to be talking, like getting to know Luna maybe, because Luna's there now, and getting connecting with her, and probably working with her in order to like figure out how to get to the other universe without opening any more rifts.
Yeah, I like the idea. Like we cut to Luna's trying to put together calculations and figure stuff out and use her psychic abilities to figure out what you could do. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's super cool. Awesome. I also like the idea of her having a stuffed toy version of the penguin and the penguin
Yeah.
librarian being very upset about it.
Yep. Oh, that's so good.
Because I penguins are one of my favorites, so I do have a stuffed plushie around here of a penguin.
I kind of like the idea of penguin coming over, like, no, like trying to take the plushie away. Like, I did not give you permission. And Luna just like holding both the penguin and the plushie. like they're the same thing. Okay, so on that note, let's do a quick round of stars and wishes. I'd like to start off a very, very big stars to everybody. I thought everybody really brought their A game. It was really, really amazing to see all of this unfold. A very big star to Morgan for all of the shenanigans that were placed upon all of that power. It was very good seeing you grapple with the magnitude of the power and prophecy and destiny and all of that. That was very cool.
I mean, I kind of had to. Like anyone who with the prophecy, you kind of have to grapple with it.
So good, so good. Yeah, and if I had a wish, it's I wish there was a second season, but this is very good. I'm very happy to have this one, so I'm very grateful. Yeah, and then next, Sean, what are your stars and
Oh
wishes?
my God, so many. Jamie, thank you so much for giving me such amazing, epic, high, uh, uh, high budget, awesome brawls. That's what Ember was meant to do, and it was fantastic to do it. Jen, it's wonderful to fall in love with you. I have to say, because not only is it a great smoochy moment, but you were saying like I want to find out what happens after, and we found that like Civ and Ember connected, and you get to like help Ember twice, like multiple times, like to deal with
Yeah.
being overwhelmed by things, and um, so I loved. In particular, I love the moment where we connected and you kind of like helped me understand what was going on with the clones, and yeah, just all of our interactions were so good, and the fact that we have to sort out how our relationship goes forward with Ember and future Ember, it's just it's like if I how could it be any better unless there was more of yeah. So that was amazing.
Let's not try to do that math.
No, and Morgan, I just love the moment where like Celine was like, "Oh, you find out from your patron you need to destroy the Cinder Queen," and then like Ember comes out, and there's like this moment of like, "Oh shit, are we gonna have to go toe to toe?" And there was like uh-oh, and then instead you're like, "Nah, I know," and you dropped my little bratty brother in the volcano, and I can only imagine the like that when the camera cuts away and we still like see a little rumble under the ground, you know, the year that you have before trouble arises. That was all fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, as for wish, I think there's two wishes, and one is not even really there. I completely dropped Ember's like I am more serious than serious demeanor. I mean, she was still pretty serious, but I just forgot about it. It wasn't like intentional, but I think in a way that's kind of like Ember's growth. Like when the shit is like actually it's the fan, she can't maintain that kind of uh that's sort of distanced, you know, she has more human feelings and less she's less stoic, or at least that's how I'm going to justify it, but I kind of wish I had remembered it at least more.
We got busy. Like
It was very busy, and it wasn't like the things we were saying weren't dramatic and big anyway, so but yeah, I just want to remember emo Ember as well. That's past Ember. And then my other wish is, yeah, I would love to know what would happen with the Maker. I feel like he's like Loki going into the next season, and he's going to be even though he's trapped and
Oh,
He's
he's
in
got some
prison.
apprentice, or he's got some plans.
He's got some plans.
Yeah.
Plans within plans.
He wanted to get captured by Division so that he could get inside the base. Right? You know, so I can envision that that him still being this big threat to us. And Civ having more opportunity to talk to him face to face or in dreams even. How about you, Jen? What are your stars and wishes?
Yeah, I think I realized that I wish that I got a chance to see like Fletcher Payne dreaming with Electro
Mm.
Rogue. Like that would have been cool. Although, like I know how that goes, right? Like it's not in a role playing scene. I can just play it out in my head. It's fine. But yeah, and I would love to see the continuation of the story because it was so amazing. As for stars, like I gotta give it up to Jamie because it's been a long time since I played a role playing game where a GM took the characters that the players made and gave us each really interesting like story beats on our backstories and like involved all of us and like intermingled them, and it was so cool and amazing. I loved it so much.
Yes. Second.
And you know,
Agreed.
emo Ember was amazing, and Celine like starting out feeling maybe not super powerful and an end being like this goddess person, like queen of monsters. Like, oh my god, it was so amazing. So
Awesome,
what about you, Morgan?
Oh, my turn. Okay. Stars was just the bombs that got dropped. Ember
Mhm.
being half human, Ember having a sibling, Civ's creator being like the total dick that we now know and hate. Like, I mean, Celine having a twin and about having to fight Ember. Like, oh god, just Jamie. The other star is Jamie just being like able just to pick at all those things. Like, oh yes, I'm going to tie these things together. And oh, I'm gonna make this happen. Oh, this sounds nice. This chaos right here. Oh, perfect. Like it's worked seamlessly, and like it's helping me learn as a GM as well. Like I be like, oh yes, this is perfect. Mental notes to self, what to do for next games I run. So
Yeah, like Sean was asking me about like how do you keep is it a lot of GM work to keep the mystery in your head? And I showed him, no, this is all the mystery is. It's just a bunch of clues that you just drop in with context. But yeah, it was super fun.
I mean, that's kind of cool though. It's just like you just gotta keep a list of mysteries, or at least of keys or whatever, and everything else is just sort of built around it. Which that's my kind of style. I don't have to make lore. I just have to have things you'll have to get to eventually and find out.
100%. Yeah.
Very, very good. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Yeah.
So rewarding and like
Mhm.
and yeah, just everyone said, just like your weaving of all our stories together.
It's so good.
So good.
I mean, Jen, Sean, it's always just amazing just to play with y'all in general, and I'm always happy just to be here and be able to have this story with y'all. So that's another star for me. I just had a real good time. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Wish more. I mean, about this game, I would like to see what happens with the creator. I think he would be the villain in Act 2 in Season 2. That's for sure. Also would like to see what happens when the year comes and we don't get to the rift or get to the other side. Like,
yeah, right.
Because that may happen.
Sure.
What do pilots do when their Halimau don't have to save the world every other week?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Where does
they
Mysterious
get to be
go?
Kids.
Are they camped out outside Division, or do they get to summer camp?
Are they hanging out in that big underground ice city? What are they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just realized we established like that it's built for giants. So I guess it
It
fits
did.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
almost
Totally
like it came
wants-
together.
I totally want summer camp for the Mysterious kids and the Halima. Like,
Oh,
Would
so
that
much
be
Yeah.
like like a kids on bikes game, sort of revamped in a way. Like,
Oh my gosh, so cute,
Yeah,
adorable.
I used to pilot a monster and like find off other monsters, but that's not a thing anymore. So
I'm just here to like make birds houses and kayak
And s'mores.
and
S'mores.
s'mores.
So cute, so
Uh,
cute, adorable.
yeah,
Girl.
Staro Romano, maybe finally get their confidence. Realize it wasn't
Yeah,
them.
yeah, Mr. Struggle Bus.
Yes.
Doing his best.
I think we could wax poetic for ages talking about this world because it is so good. But I think we should say goodnight.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for watching.
Yeah, this was fantastic. I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me over at Sean Nittner. I want to show one thing, which was Corn Elizabeth, friend of mine. She made a stained glass version of the cover of Agon, which is just amazing. This is John Harper's design, and Corin made it into stained glass. It's so beautiful, especially when the light's coming through. You can't really see the light coming through right now, but it's amazing. And that's now decorating my desk. Hopefully it'll be hanging in a window soon. I'm so happy with that. But yeah, that's me. That's my stuff. Thirsty Sword Lesbians had a super successful Kickstarter. Yay! I'm glad that did so well. It's fantastic. How about you, Jen?
I am Jen Martin. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at 10penjen. I have nothing to plug. I just had a really good time with this game, and I'm eager to see more. Jamie mentioned that there's going to be an update, and I'm like, give me more. I need it.
Season 2.
Yeah, right. Season 2, exactly. I'm signed on. You have me.
Yeah, we're already here. We're ready.
What about you, Morgan?
You have my stone.
Hi, I'm Morgan. You can find me at all the socials at Serena Bezos. I am currently playing in the Warrens on Sundays at 4 p.m. Central. Yes. That sounds right. Yes, 4 p.m. Central. Just bunny shenanigans galore. We have one last game of Utopia, Kahania, with which is a quest game. I think that's in 2 weeks. You can find me on a Tell Tinkle and All with Lord Neptune's channel, which is a Chimera game where we have the fantasy tropes and genres of fantasy, magical girl, and superheroes all sort of mixed together into a beautiful solar punk world. Find my podcast, Power by the Players, Red Death, Roleplay Network. That's where you'll get them all. But it's easier just to follow me on Twitter and be my friend. Jamie, tell us all about these updates.
Yeah, it's coming soon. I've been working on it. I've gotten so much great feedback, especially from Sean. So I'm super excited to work on it. And I'm really grateful for playing with you all because it really also helped me work on the game. But I also want to give a big shout out to everybody else I drag into the playtest. I have like 4 active groups right now. So it's awesome. It's a lot of apocalypses going on. There's a lot of kissing too. So I told the other group about how we had an apocalypse kiss last time and they got jealous and they're like, we're gonna grasp keys by kissing in the next game. So
I mean, the game might get started getting nicknamed Apocalypse Kisses and Kisses in the Apocalypse, something like that.
Yeah, I could make a hack where you collect kisses instead of keys. I could. So tempting. But yeah, so you can find out more about Apocalypse Keys at my itch.io, temporalhiccup.itch.io. My games are all up there. I'm working on bigger releases like Apocalypse Keys right now. And I'm also going to be in another actual play game, Court of Blades, which is a Forged in the Dark game, a tabletop RPG of power politics, Renaissance magic, gunpowder diplomacy, and romantic skullduggery. I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait to get into it. That's starting next week. And aside from that, I'm also on the Gauntlet podcast where I resist the urge to geek out about games for too long. So our editor goes through so much work to make us sound good. But yeah, so you can hear me there. I sound really good because Rich does a great job editing us. But yeah, and oh, there's a cat. And I love cats. That's also important. But yeah. All right, that's it for me.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for hanging out with us and for helping us stave off one apocalypse. We'll just have another one around the corner, I'm sure. But we'll see you all anon. Take care.